Okay, we are live. Let's wait for some viewers to come in.
All right.
Hello, everyone, and a very good afternoon to everyone here present today. My name is Ravin, and I'm your host for Sembang Santai, Episode 2 Inner Mastery and Healthier Understanding about Stress. Before we start, I'd like to thank everyone, for following us throughout this whole journey of Sembang Santai. It's been a pleasure being your host over here with Mr. Surain, our speaker here today. Mr. Surain, how is it?
Yes.
Everything okay with you? I mean, like, how are you doing? How are you feeling this week?
All right. Awesome. Fantastic. Ravin, it's a pleasure for me to be here. It's a pleasure for me to interact with you once again. And yes, I would like to wish all listeners who are tuning in good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. To answer your question, Ravin, how am I feeling today? I'm feeling good, actually. I'm feeling good. Yeah. And I'm feeling blessed. And I'm feeling grateful as well.
I think it's very important for us to start. It doesn't matter if it's a start or end the week in a positive note, right, Mr. Surin? Because it really helps balance the how your mentality works throughout the whole week. Am I right?
Oh yeah, true, true, true. Yes, how you start your day and how you end your day, how you start your week and how you end your week. Also, how you start your month, how you end your month, and of course, how you start your year and how you end your year. Year. Now, a good question, Rabin. Or rather, it's a good habit. Yes, you can foresee that throughout the week you're going to have a stressful week. Maybe you need to audit, or maybe your client is coming over, or maybe you're reaching closer to your deadline. Yes, no doubt about it. But it's always good to start on a positive note, at least with one positive thought. And no matter how, I don't want to say this word, but it's no matter how BS your day is, no matter how horrible your day is, it's always good to end it on a positive note. Lah. So even if let's say you got a bad review from your boss, or you lost your phone, or you got into an argument, or you lost your investments, try to end the day on a positive note. Yeah,
Great,
yeah,
great. Okay,
that's
so Mr. Surin, without further ado, let's start our discussion here for today, which
yep,
is a healthy understanding about stress. So, Mr. Surin,
yeah,
based on your understanding,
yeah.
what is stress? I mean, like, how does it affect our day-to-day lives, and how does it affect a person's mental health?
All
Because we were
right.
speaking about mental health last week, and I
Yeah,
know
yeah,
stress plays a very big role in someone's mental health. So please
yeah.
explain to us what is stress all about.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Fantastic. Wonderful. So it's always good to start with the definition. It's always good to start with, okay, what is the head and tails of a certain thing that we're going to discuss now. Before we go there, um, Ravin, what is your feeling, or what is your perception towards the word communist?
Communist.
Yeah. When you hear the word communist, does it sound like a positive word? Does it sound like a good word, or otherwise?
I think it's otherwise, to be honest.
Right, right. Okay. What about the word arguing? Is arguing a good thing or a bad thing?
Mm, Technically, if you ask me, arguing is a good word, but it really depends on the situation because
Hmm.
sometimes arguing can be mistaken to be like not agreeing to someone's opinion, or not receptive to another person's opinion. So I
Hmm.
feel like, to be honest, I think arguing, in my opinion, it's more of a negative
Hmm.
perspective of things.
Hmm.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So now the third word is stress. So when you hear the word stress, how do you feel about it?
Hmm. I mean, technically, I mean, based from what I know, there's good stress and bad stress. But
Okay.
like from in the society that we live in, everyone likes to relate stress to something which is negative. Am I right?
Yes, yes, yes. So when someone says or uses the word stress, usually it's stress. You see the face? Stress or stress. Have you come across anyone who used the word stress? Oh, stress. Oh, stress. I don't think that is common, right?
I think that's certainly not common, Mrs. Surin.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably their perspective of life is like way different from the common human beings lah. I mean, like normal,
Correct.
because
Correct.
we relate stress into something which is not, is a negative situation, but these people, they take stress as a motivation to push themselves.
Correct, correct, correct. Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah. So these words that I mentioned just now, communist, arguing, stress, usually there's a negative connotation to it. There's a negative feeling about it. Stress, arguing, communist. The word scruncher, there's a bit of a disgust or disdain, yeah, or repulsion towards those words. So, how can we change that? How can we have a healthier understanding about stress? Is we go to the definitions. Like the word communist is someone who prescribes or someone who agrees to the concept of communism. And sorry, communism means the philosophy, the idea that community first, yeah, community first before the person, before the individual. So when you look at the definition, what's wrong in putting the community first? Isn't that supposed to be the way? Then someone who likes that idea or believes in the idea is a communist. Yeah. Someone who is what are the words? Someone who believes in, let's say, liberalism is a liberalist or is a liberal. So a person who agrees with that philosophy is called communist. Okay. Uh, our understanding of communist is someone with a machine gun in the jungle. Right?
Precisely, Mr. Surin.
Exactly, exactly. Now, how did that person end up with the machine gun in the jungle? So if we dig up and dig up and dig up, oh, it's because this person believes that to run a country, to rule people, we should put the community first. But his idea was not received by the other political party or by opposition. Therefore, he needed to escape. He needed to okay then communists end up being in jungle, hiding somewhere in a rural place. Another thing is the word argument, arguing. We said, hey, you know what? Husband and wife don't argue. Hey, siblings, don't argue. Argue is not good. You know, we must live in harmony. We must love one another. You and your colleagues, don't argue. You must work together. Uh, you see, arguing, by definition, is to state your or to justify. So, for example, Ravin, what did you have for lunch?
I had fried rice.
Okay, why did you have fried rice?
I think that's because of the it's the safest option. You can never go wrong with fried rice, right?
All right. Now, when Ravin, when you say because, then that means you are arguing, you're giving an argument. Oh, Ravin had fried rice for lunch because, so that's his argument. In Malay, it's called hujahan. So arguing is actually good because you get to think critically, you be able to justify, you give your reasons why. So arguing technically speaking, yeah, it's a good word. It's a good thing. Uh, Fighting may be a bit negative. Hey, you know what? Siblings don't fight. Husband and wives don't fight. But if you want to fight, fight fair. So now back to the word stress, our topic for today. A lot of people, yeah, it's stress. Stress. It's negative. You feel stressed hearing the word stress.
Yes.
Yeah, right. So now let's get to the definition of stress so that we can have maybe a different feeling about stress. Instead of feeling stressed about stress, we can now, oh, that is what stress is. I see. Okay. So stress is our psychological and physiological, that means mind and body's response towards external events, things that happen to us, yeah, how we respond towards it. Now, that is stress. Okay, let me give you another definition of stress. Stress is, simply put, is to prepare us. Stress is to prepare us to act. Yeah, to prepare us to act. Okay, now what happens to our bodies, what happens to our minds when we are stressed? Is there such thing as good stress, bad stress? How do we draw the line between this good stress, this bad stress? How much is good, how much is bad? Yeah, so we want to get into the nitty gritty part of it right now. Yes, like what you said, you are aware that you've come across. I'm sure you've read articles or you've heard people talk about good stress, Ravi.
Um, a lot of times actually.
Mm. Okay, okay. Let's have a look at some examples. Yeah. Do you go to the gym? Do you work out?
Occasionally, maybe like twice a week. Yeah,
Okay,
not.
okay,
I've lost my touch actually.
okay. But you've lifted weights before.
Yes,
You've done push-ups and sit-ups. Yeah. Okay.
many
Great.
times.
Yeah, okay. Right. Now, when we go to the gym, when we lift weights, when we work out, especially when we work out until we are, it's called to failure. That means we can't do it anymore. Let's say I can do 10 push-ups, but I try to do 11. I try to do stuff until I can't do it. Now, you are really stressing out your muscles. But why do we do it? Why do we put our muscles under such amounts of stress? Because it's only going to make our muscles stronger. If not bigger, then stronger, which is what we want. So now that's a question. Is stress good or bad? Looks like stress is good for now, yeah? Okay. Do you watch Formula One?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So I think you know that Formula One drivers experience a lot of G-force on their bodies, yeah, a lot of stress. Now, but that stressful situation causes them to focus, causes them to perform. Right? Yeah. Okay. Now, so I'm still talking about the good parts of stress. Okay, Robin, let me share with you this experiment done on plants. Yeah. Okay. So they took two plantlets, young plants. Yeah. Plant A, plant B. For plant A, they tied a stake. They tied a stick around the bark of that tree. Yeah. So I'm talking about young trees. Yeah. Juvenile trees. And plant B, they let it be, but every now and then they will bend the tree, they will move it, yeah, they will kacau lah. In Malay, it's kacau the tree lah. You know, they'll bend it, they will push it. After a few years, they found out that this tree, 3A, Cocoa A, it grew up to be very tall and straight because it's supported by a stick, yeah. But the tree's diameter is very small. 3B, the other one, which is always shaken and always bent, there's always human intervention. Yeah, it's actually to mimic winds, to mimic storms, aka the tree was under pressure. The tree was not as tall as this tree, but the diameter was way bigger. In other words, pokok B, this tree B, was stronger than tree A. Plant A. Let me use the word plant because tree confusing with the number three. So plant B grew up to be stronger than plant A. Plant A was taller, but the diameter was small. Plant B was a bit shorter, but the diameter was bigger. So they found out that trees that grow under stress are the ones that produce better wood. The diameter is bigger and they produce higher quality wood. Yep. Yeah. Another example of stress would be exams. During exams or before exams, yeah, we feel stress, but the result that comes out of it is going to make us
A better
the yeah, better. If you pass, great. You get the diploma degree or you get your driving license. Same thing with going on a date. When you go on a blind date, oh yeah, is this person beautiful? Can we get along? How is this person's background? Is this person fun to be with? It's stressful because of a lot of unknown, a lot of question mark. Yeah. But after going to the date, what are the benefits of it? You become more confident, you get to know another human being, maybe you get into a relationship, maybe you get married, maybe you have kids. Okay, maybe you don't get into a relationship, but at least you got a new friend, at least you got an experience. Maybe that person can be your business partner or your client or your customer. So what comes out of it is beneficial. Yeah. So perhaps these situations, these three examples that I've given you, and also dear listeners out there, ask yourself, yeah, these feelings of stress, does it give you a benefit? If yes, then maybe you should reconsider whether stress is 100% completely bad, negative, should be avoided, or stress is actually not bad, not bad. Makes us want to rethink or reconsider how we feel about stress. So, stress is to prepare ourselves to act. To act. Okay. Ravin, what are some of the stressful situations that you've experienced before?
Hmm. I think in my recent years, probably a job interview, and then like maybe going out on dates.
Hmm. Hmm.
I think yeah, that's kind of a stressful situation to be in, like how
Hmm.
you said, Surin. But
Hmm.
knowing, I think the reason why we are put into a stressful situation like this is because,
Hmm.
or okay, maybe I worded it wrong.
Hmm.
Reason why we feel stressed being
Hmm.
in this kind of situation is because we are unsure of the outcome.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
So
Oh,
I,
wonderful. Wonderful. Yes,
so I
exactly.
think when someone doesn't know the outcome of the situation, that's
Yeah.
when they start being stressed. Oh, what if it doesn't happen
Yep.
the way I want it to be?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yep, yep, yes. Because we don't know what's going to happen next, and of course, that is what fear is. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what is it going to look like. We don't know how is it going to taste like. If we don't know what is it going to do to our finances, to our well-being, to our health, to our family. Okay, okay. So a lot of unknowns. Yes, uh, that is why stress is our body's way of telling us, hey, Surain, prepare. Now, we don't know what's going to happen yeah, after I sit for the exams. I don't know what's going to happen after I go for a blind date. I don't know what's going to happen if I invest here, A or B. I don't know what's going to happen if I take up this job or do this or do that. Therefore, I need to be prepared. So, stress prepares you, it makes you focus. Now that I know I'm going to sit for the exam or go on a date, do I prepare myself in terms of revision, going through my notes? Do I prepare myself in terms of what to wear? Am I clean shaven? Did I brush my teeth before going for the date? You're prepared for it. So the purpose of stress is to prepare you. Now, if you can look at stress that way, then we like, oh, okay. Otherwise, we are too nonchalant, we are too lepak, we are too relaxed about anything and everything. And that is dangerous for our well-being. Yeah. So what other stressful situations that we can think about? Okay, this current pandemic, because there's a lot of unknowns. We don't know what's going to happen to our jobs, to the economy, to our what do you call that, mingling with people, crossing borders. So therefore our body is telling us, I need to do something about it, I need to do something about it, which is, let's go online. Yeah. Which is, okay, be careful, wear a mask. Okay, get vaccinated. So, what's the solution here? How do we overcome this problem? Uh, it makes us be critical. It makes us plan. It makes us want to prepare. It makes us want to find plan B, plan C. So, s- try to reconsider your feelings towards stress. Is it 100% all bad, 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 bad? Or, hey, actually, stress, there's a function to it. And now, of course, Ravin, while you are experiencing that stressful situation, before you go for while the job interview, or while you go to the going to the job interview, going to the venue, yes, you feel stressed out. When you lost your luggage at the airport, when you travel, yeah, you are stressed out. You're a bit angry. You're mad. When you don't know whether your company is going to extend the contract, yeah, you feel a bit stressed. But in hindsight, when you look back, actually, all that gave me experience, lah. Gave me, if you go on blind dates for the 10th time, you are now a more confident person. You know what to say, what not to say. You know what jokes are good, what jokes are not good. And you know what the things that a woman will enjoy? What kind of jokes a woman enjoys compared to jokes with the guys, your guy friends. So it makes you more experienced. It makes you more confident. Yeah, right.
All right, Mr. Surin. So we've got a question from the audience
Yeah.
by Mr. Haziq. Let me just bring
Mm.
it up. Yep.
Okay. Okay, great. What is the right amount of stress for you? Fantastic. Fantastic. Great. For this year, Haziq, it's good for you to keep a journal or keep track. Now, let's say, Haziq, let's say you do weights. So you know that 2 kilograms, nah, I can do like 20 reps. That means it's not stressful enough. So you add on, you let's say you go 4 kilograms, and you can do about 8 reps. Still a lot. You add, you do 6 kilograms, and you find that you can only do 1 or 2 reps. But when you add on, it becomes 9 kilograms. You can't even lift one time. So you know that 8 kilograms is okay, optimum. It's not boring for me, and it's not too challenging to a point that I can't do it, or my muscles tear, or so you're struggling, but you still can. So that is a good example of finding the right amount. Now, what other situations? Finances. Okay, Haziq, you find out at what number, what amount of ringgit, yeah, in your bank account. When you see the number, it makes you like, alamak, alamak, alamak. I need to look for money. This is bad. This is not good. All right. So let's say you put, let's say when you see 400 ringgit in bank account, you start feeling nervous, you start feeling anxious, you start feeling stressful. So put it at 500 ringgit or 600 ringgit. Now, when you see this number, you know that anything lower than this will start to trigger stress in me. So next time you know that minimum bank account, I need to have at least 600. So you do that with other areas of your life. Okay, what other things? Traffic jam. Uh, how much or how long can you be stuck in traffic? What can you tolerate? Okay, I can tolerate 20 minutes. Anything more than that, I'm super stressful. I cannot take it. So you find your limit, and then prepare and know that, okay, if I take this road, or if I travel on this day or this at this hour, I know that traffic is going to be okay lah, 15 minutes jam. I can still take it. But I know that traffic is going to be like horrible. Okay, avoid, avoid. Okay, so how much stress? Yeah, one of the ways that there's an indicator is here, your jaws, your shoulders, your neck, your armpits. Some people, when they are stressed out, they start to sweat. Yeah, and means that, so you know that, okay, this my body is telling me something, that this is too much already. That I'm going to be stressful about it. Now, Haziq, the same with everyone. We don't want our lives to be too easygoing, too relaxed, because how can we become a better person if everything is so chill, so relaxed, not challenging at all? Yeah. We always want to up our game, up our game, up our game. But you want to up your game without being stressed out. Then you crash and burn. So what indicators would be stiffness of your jaw, you start to grind your teeth, you feel your neck stiffens, your shoulder, you feel a bit, yeah, then you start to have, you find that you cannot sleep well, you find that you either eat too much or too little. So these are now indicators, yeah. You start to get stomach upset, your behaviors. You no longer find your sports or exercise or your hobby pleasurable. Yeah, you no longer find it and entertaining or beneficial to you. You no longer look forward to it. So now, the symptoms of stress could be physical, behavior, and also psychological. Yeah, Haziq, find the indicators. Find what is it in your behavior, in your the way you think, in the way you behave, that you know is telling you, hey, you know what? You're stressed out. You know what? You're stressed out. For some people, pimples. When they have pimples, it's their body's way of telling you you're stressed out. Okay, like for me, yeah, Ravid, is ulcer. If I get ulcer, I know that I'm under stress. Something is stressing me out. So I need to find out what is stressing me out. What is stressing? Is it I'm not drinking enough water? My body's under stress? Is it that I'm not getting enough sleep? Am I thinking about my finances? Am I worried about my career? So I try to find out what is causing this ulcer. Yes. Again, like it's like a ding, hello, you need to pay attention. So your body is telling you something. So has it tried to find all these indicators in you? Yeah, so that you know what is too much. That you need to, you need to ease your foot off the gas pedal and like, hang on, what's going on here? This is too much, right? Yeah.
All right, Mr. Surin. So we've got another question that just came in by Mr.
Yep.
KY Tan. Let me just bring it up for you.
Sure.
Right.
Fear and doubt is a bad feeling. Okay, fear and doubt. Then it will lead to, yes, therefore stress, emotional feeling, or a physiological one event. Both. Kibaitan, both. Stress, yes, it affects your psychology, and therefore it affects how you feel. And also, it changes your bodily functions. Either you breathe faster, or your breath becomes shorter, or your heartbeat, you get palpitations, or you cannot focus, or your hands start to shake, yeah, or you start to fidget, you start to shake your leg. Yeah, you start to bounce your leg, yeah, when you sit, or you start to look around, you start to fidget on your phone. Yeah, that is the psychological, physiological effect of stress. Fear and doubt is a bad feeling rather than illiterate. Therefore, stress is more emotional or physiological. Yeah, so it's both. It's both. Yeah. So fear and doubt uh, also has a purpose, has a function. Yeah. Uh, Not to say, okay, let's see if I put it this way. If there's no stress, or no. Let me put it this way. Okay, Ravi, how would you describe your perfect life whereby you don't feel stressed, you don't feel fearful, and you don't have any doubts? Can you describe that life to me?
I mean, I can go on explaining about how perfect that life would be, but to
Hmm.
be honest, in my opinion, I
Hmm.
feel like a life without stress is a
Hmm.
boring one. It's a boring one
Okay.
because you see, Mr. Surin, like
Yeah.
every day okay lah. Let's talk in a layman term.
Yeah.
You do not make progress in life without
Yeah.
making mistakes.
Yeah. Okay.
So you make mistakes because you are in a stressful situation.
Yeah.
So I think that mistakes should be made, but
Hmm.
to an extent where you actually learn from it. Doesn't
Hmm.
mean that I say okay, you got to make mistakes, but
Hmm.
then you don't make any progress from it because mistakes happen every time, but
Hmm.
learning from them is what improves yourself. So
Hmm.
being in a situation where it gives you stress, so I
Hmm.
think that would actually help you to become a better person. So a life without stress, to
Hmm.
me, I feel like there's nothing worth living for.
Hmm.
Yep. So
Okay.
that's my opinion on
All
stress.
right, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much. Okay, so some people will say that my life will be perfect, no stress, no fear, no anxiety, no doubts. When I have 10 million ringgit in my bank account, no debts, my kids are obedient, and they uh, everything my business is going well, or my investments are doing well. I get a passive income every month, and my health is perfect, no issues. Okay, then my life will be stress free. So far, I haven't come across anyone whose life is stress free. Something, okay, if your finances are doing well, then maybe your health is affected. If your health is doing well, then maybe your relationships are affected. There's always something that props up and causes you stress. And sometimes we ourselves put ourselves in stressful situations, like how you said there, Ravi. You want a challenge. So we do skydiving or rock climbing, or uh, the need for speed. We rent a go kart and we tekan yang or we learn how to ride a horse. These things are risky. These things are putting your body at risk. I mean, your body at stress in stressful situation. But it's challenging. It's like, ooh, it's giving you a bit of the a bit of the kick.
Adrenaline rush. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So far, I haven't come across anyone who says that, yes, my life is perfect, no stress, no fear, no doubt. No matter how rich the person is, no matter how handsome or privileged the person is, I haven't come across anyone who says that I don't have stress. There is always stress. So the idea here is not to get rid of stress, but to manage it, to understand that, okay, stress has got its plus points, its benefits, its purpose. Too much stress is not good. Yes, too much stress is not good. It will make me sick. It may lead to depression. It may lead to burnout. It may lead to a lot of things. Okay, inability to be intimate in bed can lead to a lot of things. So what am I going to do about it when I experience it? Then you will learn how to do yoga. You will learn how to do deep breathing. You will learn how, okay, which spa or massage centers that I can go to, who are the people that I can call up when I'm really stressed out. Do I have any coach friends or therapist friends that I can reach out to? So you prepare yourself for the situations. You're not trying to avoid it altogether. You're just aware that, you know what, I think one day if I do this, I might become too stressed. If I do this, I might become too stressed. So what am I going to do about it? Yeah. What am I going to do about it? Okay, okay. Now I know that I'm gonna get into a career or job which is highly stressful. Say I'm a surgeon, brain surgeon, or let's say I in the stock market. So it's gonna be highly stressful. Right, right. So what's my backup plan here? What are the things that I can do to de-stress? Okay, maybe part of there's one corner of my house whereby it's like a sanctuary, whereby there are some smells and there's an artwork that makes me so relaxed. Or maybe I'll get an aquarium with fish because I know that really soothes me, really calms me down. So yes, you're aware that you're going to be in stressful situations. Therefore, you have de-stressing methods, de-stressing techniques. Do you have things in place to manage your stress? Yeah? Because avoiding stress, yeah, it's something stressful because you're trying to avoid. Okay, I want to avoid this. I want to avoid that. I want to avoid this. But when it hits you, alamak, I tried so hard to avoid this, but now I'm experiencing, for example, traffic jam. I get very stressed out when Robin. I don't know whether you experience this as well, but I have a very low tolerance for traffic jam. Okay, so that is one of the reasons why I choose to work freelance and not work being employed and therefore have certain working hours. Yeah, because you know what, stress really kills me lah. Okay, so I avoid traffic jam. But sometimes I do get stuck in traffic because of accidents lah, because of roadworks lah. Yeah, it's not the rush hour, it's not the 8 o'clock and the 5 o'clock. It's other reasons. So now I work so hard to avoid stress, and now I'm in this traffic jam. Yeah, stress out. So the idea here is not to avoid. But okay, when I'm in that stressful situations, what can I do about it? So, Ravid, what I did was I learned how to do deep breathing. So next time when I'm stuck in traffic, I do deep breathing. Or I make sure in my car there's at least something for me to suck on, maybe a candy, a sweet, or a jeruk asam. Okay, that will help me to relax. Or maybe I have a pen drive or a songs in my phone that is relaxing, sounds of nature. So you have all this plan B in with you whenever that stressful situation will come up one day. Yeah. So I hope I've answered some of your questions, some of the listeners' questions. But I like the question from YK Tang. Is stress just in here or how you feel, or is stress bodily as well? Yeah. Does it involve your physiological aspect of it? Yes, it's both. It's how you think, yeah, it's how you feel, and what happens to your body, your muscles, your heart, your breathing, your pupils. Does it constrict? Does it dilate? Right? Yeah.
I
I
think
think Robin, awareness is very powerful. When you are aware, hey, look, my shoulder is a bit stiff. Hey, you notice that I'm starting to grit my teeth. Then you know that either you're feeling angry, or you're feeling stressed out, or you're feeling anxious, or you're feeling nervous. Yeah.
so. I think, Mr. Surin, so you said, like, stress could come in the form of physical and mental as well, right?
Yes.
So I think that pretty much answered Mr. KY Tan's question, but he still has another question for you. Let me just
Please,
bring it up for you.
please.
Okay. To what extent can stress lead to a total mind mental breakdown, a psychological breakdown leading to mental depression and perhaps suicidal thoughts? Do you have any examples of such case, Mr. Surin?
Oh yes, 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 yes. I do, I do, I do. Okay, now. Oh, wonderful. Thank you, lah, Kiwaitan, for the question. I do have a few examples. So, a friend of mine, uh, it was last year. It was last year. She decided to resign without having anything as backup, without having plan B. Um, because her work is stressful, and it's stressful on a long-term basis that causes burnout. Now, work is sometimes stressful, uh, but if it's stressful for long periods of time, it's persistent. The word is persistent. It will lead to burnout. And when people experience burnout, they'll do drastic things like um, uh, excessive use or consumption of alcohol or nicotine, drug use, or they will just resign. Just my resignation letter. I don't care about my income next month or next 2 months. I don't know what's going to happen. Boom, they do something drastic. Yeah. Okay. Now, so that is, I would say, yes, it's a total mind and body breakdown. That means your body just can't take anymore. It's a burnout. So to prevent all that, therefore, people who are employed or running a business or you in your career, you need to have, if you know that your job is stressful, you need to have periodic moments of de-stress. So let's say I'm an accountant. I know that in November, December, I'm going to get really stressed. People are closing accounts. So what am I going to do in January and February to de-stress? Okay, January, February, maybe I'll take a longer leave. Maybe I'll take two weeks off. Or maybe I'll go see a therapist. Or maybe I'll go for massage. And this happens every year. Okay, it's fine. But if it's stressful every single month, every single year, and you're not doing anything about it, you think that it will go away, it'll go away, it'll go away. After 5, 7 years, boom, burnout. So that is what happened to my friend. And for her is that she can't take it anymore. Okay, so what happened to her was she couldn't sleep. She couldn't eat well. She was losing weight. She couldn't enjoy the things that her hobbies, her leisure activities. Those are indicators of burnout. Burnout also can happen in parenting. You want to be the best parent to your child. Yeah. Once in a while, parents need to take a time out, maybe once a week or once a month. Send your kids to your parents' house or to your uncle's house, to your auntie's house, or to some daycare, yeah? And at least take a time out for yourself. Otherwise, if you're always pedal to the metal, you're always pressing the accelerator pedal, you will be burnt out. In other words, you will blow a gasket. Yeah, right. So another example would be, I have this patient of mine whereby final year project, he was not able to complete his final year project because of MCO. Therefore, he was expelled from the college. Now, the final year project is your final semester, yeah? After
Yep.
3 years, 4 years? Okay, so he was expelled. Bloody hell. What happened to my 3 years, 4 years? On top of that, his father passed away. Yeah. On top of that, he's seeing his other friends getting jobs. Ravid, is that person stressful or not?
A lot to take in at one, and like you're a given time you're feeling so much of stress, like losing your dad, and
Yeah.
then getting expelled from college and seeing
Yeah.
your other friends doing well in life, so
Yeah.
it puts a lot of pressure on yourself.
Yes. Yes. And that patient of mine wanted to commit suicide. So yes, like what Kewaitan said, will it cause us to have suicidal thoughts? Yes. Stress can lead to depression. Stress can lead to suicidal thoughts. Stress can lead to prolonged anxiety. Yes, yes, yeah. So have a healthy understanding of stress. Don't just avoid it. More so, find out or learn, acquire skills that is able to for you to de-stress. Yeah. Whether it's physical relaxation techniques, environmental relaxation techniques, or social support, find ways to de-stress. So you're not avoiding stress, you're allowing stress for your body to and your mind to experience it. Yes. Why? So that you become a better person, so that you get more experience, so that that's all the reason. And learn how to let it go. So allow stress to come into your life, into your minds, into your bodies, but learn to let it go as well. When it's too much, that you know that this is too much, it's gonna make me commit wanting to commit suicide. Are you able to let it go by? Do you know any therapist? Do you know any centers or hospitals that you can go to? Do you have any friends who would just provide you with accommodation if you can't pay the rent anymore? Do you know of anyone who can loan you some money? Yeah, so you need to have all these mechanisms in place in case one day the stress is too much, it's overbearing. Yeah. And so I like that question from KY Tan. Thank you very much.
I
Yeah.
think that's the most important question of the day, right, Mr. Surin?
Mm,
It's like,
mm,
what can stress lead to? What apart from
mm,
being in a pressured situation and
mm,
feeling burned out, what else can it lead to? All these
mm,
suicidal thoughts and
mm.
maybe other health conditions as well,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah, yes.
Yeah.
It can cause you to gain weight. It can cause you to have unhealthy eating habits, and when you have unhealthy eating habits, it will wreak havoc with your immune system. Um, it will cause you to have stomach upset. It will cause you to have more allergies, or rather a weaker immune system. It will cause you to have headaches, uh, and these headaches will cause you to not be able to sleep well. And when you don't sleep well, also it will cause you to get headaches. So it's they call it sudah jatuh ditimpa tangga. So because you're so stressed out, you cannot sleep well. And because you cannot sleep well, you get headaches. And because you get headaches, you cannot sleep well and you cannot eat well. And because of that, yeah, so it's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So you go into a downward spiral. Yeah.
So it's like malam, sorry, not malam, malang ditimpa tangga, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Surah
So,
jatuh di timpa tangga. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Correct. Exactly.
so
Exactly.
yeah, so Miss Surin, like I know there's a lot of things going on in like everyone's lives, so
Mm,
things that make everyone stressed out and all that.
mm.
So would we? I mean, would it be easier for us to say like we need to choose what are the things in life that we want to stress about? Because sometimes I do notice some people in our lives, they
Mm.
tend to stress about things that they have no control over, or things that it doesn't really matter because you have no control over it. Am I right?
Yeah, exactly.
it's
Exactly.
it's very
Yeah.
important for us to choose what
Yeah.
we want to stress about. Am I correct,
Yeah,
Mr.?
exactly, exactly, exactly. So, do you want to be stressed out about your finances? Do you want to be stressed out about your also? What areas of your life, or what are things that are worth it for you to be stressed out about? If I'm stressed out about my finances, about my health, and I do something about it, yes, I will gain. But if I'm stressed out about what that person said, about that celebrity, about that politician, what can I do about it? It's beyond my control. So I'm like, at the end of the day, we end up being stressed and stressed and stressed and stressed. So yes, Ravid, exactly. Choose what you want to be stressed about. Choose what you want to be stressed about. Yeah. Great, fantastic. So that you can put in more energy, more effort, more attention into that. Because what is going to happen after that is something beneficial to you. So let's say you have a degree. Now, if you do your master's, yeah, it's going to be a bit stressful because you got to juggle between work and studies, and you got to learn things, new things. Is it going to be stressful? Yes, but is it going to be worth it? So you think about it. Is it going to be worth it in terms of my career growth? I think it's worth it. Okay, lah, well, go for it. Lah. So you choose to put yourself in a stressful situation. But you know, at the back of your head, there's a possibility that it's going to benefit you in some way. So yeah, great, fantastic. Now, again, like what we talked about, yeah, Rabin, last Sembang Santai, one of the things that is a double-edged sword, yeah. It's both good and bad, yeah. It's this, yeah, the phone, yeah. Now, Rabin, have you experienced 100 meters sprint?
Yep, back when I was in high school and back when I was in uni, I used to sprint a lot as well.
Okay, so 100 meters, you have the starting block, right? Where you crouch and then you hear the gun go off, right? Yeah, okay. Now, Are you are you stressed out or are you feeling very ready to go, ready to burst? There's nothing block.
Yes, definitely. As
Yeah.
much as much as you try not to feel stressed at that moment, you cannot because you're waiting for something to happen. You already know it's going to happen. In
Yes.
this case, waiting for the umpire to shoot the gun so that you can get
Yes.
off the line.
Yeah.
So, being in that situation, you might tell yourself, "Okay, don't be stressed, don't be stressed." But it's impossible because you
Yeah.
already know what's going to happen, and you want to be ahead of the curve. So, yeah.
Okay. Yes, that is a highly stressful situation at the starting block when you want a sprint. Highly stressful. Now, that is when your body releases a lot of cortisol. Cortisol causes your muscles to tense, causes you to breathe deeper and harder, shallow breathing, opposite of calm, lah. Opposite of calm and relax, and causes you to have a very narrow focus, and you cannot think about anything else but sprinting. So it readies your body for that boom, sudden burst when the gun goes bang. That's a good stress because it's short term, yeah, just for a while, and also it's so that you can perform, so that you can sprint and run. Now, why am I telling this? Is because when you are in a ready to go position, yeah, it means that your body has got out cortisol, is the stress hormone. Too much of this cortisol in the human body, or when this cortisol is too long in the human body, it will cause a lot of diseases. It will cause a lot of unwanted outcomes. Yeah, uh, it damages the body. So you want cortisol, but only for short while. Yeah. Right now, why am I saying this? When we have our phones with us, we know that at any time we can get a notification, a ding, a ding, a ping. Whether it's email, Lazada, TikTok, Instagram, there's always going to be we know that there's going to be a notification. So when you put your phone near you and you have all those notifications coming in, it's like at the starting block of 100 meters dash. You know that ding, you got respond, ding, you got respond, ding, you got respond, ding, you got respond. So one of the things that we can do, again, like what I mentioned last week, once in a while, try to put your phone away and try to focus on at least one thing. So let's say you're writing a proposal, or you're drawing, you're editing something, or you're making phone calls. Just do that and put your phone away if whenever possible, if possible. Or once in a while, try to turn off the notifications or try to put it silent. When we go have lunch, maybe the first 10 minutes you want to put your phone away, yeah, and enjoy your food. Because when the phone is with you all the time, your mind it knows that hey, at any time I'm going to get a notification. So your body is always filled with cortisol, this ready to attack hormone, fight or flight. And so I think that is one of the things that is causing us stress in this modern world. All this ding, boom, ding, dong. We are always wanting to respond to it, wanting to respond to it, wanting to respond to it. So once in a while, put it away, relax, enjoy your coffee, enjoy lunch, enjoy your colleagues, chatting with your colleagues. I think that's important. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Surain. So before we end today's session today, we've
Mm.
got one last question, and that's from Mr. KY Tan as well. He asked the best question.
Yay.
The questions that he asked, it's like it answers a lot of things at one time. So
Mm.
let me just bring that question up.
Mm.
Very
Oh,
often
very
in
often
life and death
yeah,
situations such as
yeah.
contemplating suicide is how do you manage your logical processes versus your emotional bad feelings, all within a
Mm.
matter of seconds. So therefore, what one strategy can you give to ensure personal self-survival in this world within this perspective?
Okay, wow, wow, wow. Okay, contemplating suicide. Oh, okay, okay. Yes, 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 yes. So for example, if I go hiking in the jungle and I come across a tiger, yes, I will feel stress, and that stress is a good stress because it causes me to run away or climb a tree or jump into the river. Yep, it's to save my life. So, Ravin, do you mind putting up the question again?
Yep, sure.
Yeah. Medium matter seconds, correct. What one strategy can I give to ensure your personal self survival in this world? Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. That's a lot. But if I were to give one strategy that you can use to help you when things are going south, when things are going bad, it's everything is bleak. There's no hope. Yeah. Uh, I like these words by Lao Tzu, by people who practice Taoism, Zen, and Buddhism. Uh, so one of it will be, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. Therefore, if I'm feeling super duper stressed out, like one of my patients, yeah, I flunked my final year paper. I got kicked out of college. I didn't graduate. My father just passed away. I'm feeling horrible and miserable. Whew, one of the things I can say to myself is, this too shall pass. That means one day this will all be over. Uh, any difficulty or any joys or happiness that you experience in life is not forever. For example, when I get promoted, when I get $1 million contract, the feeling of joy and happiness maybe it lasted for a week, a month, a year, 2 years. But after that, it becomes meh, nothing. La la la. It's the same thing with all these disasters, challenges, and all these difficulties that we face in life, tragedies. Yeah, know that it won't last forever. One day it will pass. One day it will be over. Uh, have I come across people who flunked out of college, parents passed away, or lost a loved one, and is doing okay in life? Yes, there are. There are. I'm sure, Ravi, you will agree that there are people who have gone through being expelled from college and father passing away at the same time. But after a few years, their life becomes their life is okay. They can carry on with their lives. I'm sure, Ravi, you've come across people like that. Yeah. So, if there's one strategy that I would like to give to KY Tan is these two shall pass. These two shall pass. But so that is psychological. In terms of action behavior, Kewaitan, I recommend that you get to know at least one counselor whom you can contact at any given time. Whether it's a counselor, psychologist, a therapist, a coach, try to get in touch with at least one person or know one person that you can call or get in touch with. Yeah. And not worry about the fees. You know that this person will help you out because you have already hit rock bottom. Yeah, that you won't need because Ravin, yeah, some of my patients, their concern when it comes to seeing a therapist or counselor is how much will it cost. That's their concern. So find someone who you know that will not talk about money first, but will help you out first and foremost. So that is my takeaway for KY Tan. At least get to know one counselor or one therapist or one coach or a life coach and um, know that you have that number to call or that person to speak to, right? Yeah.
All right, Mr. Surain. So, we spoke about how stress affects us emotionally, mentally, and what we can do to cope with stress and all that. So, before we end the session here today, Mr. Surain, what is one last advice you would like to give to our audience here today? In coping
Okay.
stress, understanding.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. The last piece of advice to all my listeners out there, as a reminder to myself as well, I really, really like this. Yeah. Learn how to do deep breathing. Learn how to do deep breathing. Deep breathing has really helped me. Yes, really helped me. And I feel that it's simple but effective and powerful. And those who always feel stressed out, anxious, angry, doubtful, I would say learn deep breathing. Yeah. There's nothing else I can say, but yeah, learn deep breathing. So if we have a face-to-face or we have a physical seminar or any of my programs, listeners out there, if you can join any programs that teaches you how to do deep breathing, whether it's yoga, whether it's Pilates, whether it's meditation, learn how to do it. Yeah, learn how to do it. Deep breathing. I think it's simple, super, super simple. Breathing. Yes, but it's effective. It's effective and it's powerful. It has helped me so far. Yeah, it has worked for me, and I am super confident that it will work for you as well.
There you have it, everyone. So, you got to listen to what Mr. Surain says, because I think among all my years working here in Excel Academy, I think he's one of the most, positive and, well prepared in any situation you put him in. He's well prepared to face
I
this.
hope. I hope. I hope. I hope.
But I think so far, from what I've seen, I think you've been doing well, Mr. Surain.
Thank you for your kind words, Robin. Thank you
All
very much.
right, all right. So thank you everyone for joining our session here today, our second episode of Sembang Santai. But it's not over yet, guys. Do join us next week as we will be talking about a new topic. What topic? Stay tuned.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining our session here today, everyone. And signing off for today, my name is Ravin. I'm here with Mr. Surain. Don't miss us next week. Like us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube as well. Till then, take care, everyone. See you.
Bye.